It's all your fault. Your troubles made our daughter sick. Bring her back to me.
My father-in-law, Keith, had shouted angrily through the funeral home. The next moment, I felt a dull pain on my left cheek and lost my balance, falling to the floor. Keith had struck me on the cheek.
It's because you bankrupted the company. That's why Emily had to work so hard and got sick.
He towered over me, continuing his yelling. Sitting on the floor, holding my painful cheek, I pondered. Maybe he was right. I became president of a small food processing company left by my father at age 30. But 10 years later, the company's performance rapidly worsened and eventually went bankrupt. At that time, the company had a huge debt. I immediately started a new job, but my earnings weren't enough to pay off the debts. So my wife, Emily, 8 years younger, also worked full-time to support our family while caring for our 3 children. We shared household and childcare duties, but with young children, there was always much to do, from school, drop-offs and pickups, to attending to them when sick, to preparing meals, cleaning, and doing laundry. Even at home, there was never a moment of rest. Raising 3 kids while working was extremely tough, and since I often had more overtime work, the burden of childcare and housework fell more on Emily. This life continued for about 8 years, until Emily collapsed from overwork 3 months ago.
At the hospital, blood tests revealed abnormalities, and we were told, unfortunately, it's quite advanced, and there's nothing more we can do.
When Dr. Johnson told me this, it felt like a cold shower had hit my heart. Blood drained from my face and my legs went weak. I wished it was a dream, hoping desperately to wake up from it.
Dr. Johnson, how much longer can Emily live?
Perhaps 3 more months.
3 months? That's too short.
It was too short. I thought so. It wasn't enough time. I wanted more time with Emily. She was only 40 years old. We still had so many things to do together, so many places to go with the family. I couldn't hold back my tears. Our children were at a sensitive age, the eldest 14 and the youngest 10. I wondered how much they would grieve without their mother. I struggled with whether to inform them and Emily about her life expectancy, but wanting her to live her remaining life without regrets and to prepare the children gradually for the shock, I decided to disclose it.
Me only 3 months to live? You're kidding, right? Tell me it's a lie.
Initially, Emily laughed it off in disbelief, but when she realized it was true, her expression turned complex.
Who jokes about such things?
Don't worry, I'm sure I'll get better soon.
She struggled to accept the reality, remaining brave without tears.
Yes, I believe that too. But, as things stand, I think we should tell the children about the prognosis.
When I shared my thoughts, she contemplated for a while before agreeing.
They need to be prepared.
That was the first time Emily showed her tears. She must have felt helpless, imagining the children's grief.
Michael, please, take good care of our children.
My wife clung to my chest, sobbing. How sad it must have been for her, knowing she wouldn't see our beloved children grow up. From then on, I juggled work and visits to Emily's hospital to provide for our 3 children. I wished I could quit my job to spend every minute with her, but drowning in debt, it was an impossible dream. Emily must have felt so lonely. I had caused her so much trouble, failed to notice her illness until it was too late, and couldn't even be by her side in her final moments. What a failure of a husband I am. It's no wonder Keith hit me. He raised Emily alone and never wanted her to suffer. As I hung my head in these thoughts, an incident occurred.
I don't want to see your face. Do you realize how much my daughter suffered because of you? This isn't a joke.
Keith, consumed by anger, grabbed a cup and threw cold water at me.
Father, please stop.
A firm voice echoed through the funeral home. It was Emily's younger sister, Sarah, 2 years younger than her. She rushed in, standing between us.
How can you do this? Emily's passing isn't Michael's fault. Don't take out your grief on him.
Sarah?
Keith looked at her, his expression complex.
But Sarah, he bankrupted his company, drowned in debt, and made Emily suffer.
He argued back, but Sarah responded strongly.
That's not true. Don't assume Emily was unhappy. She was happy with Michael.
She shouted, pulling out her phone from her purse.
Read this. It shows how happy she was.
She operated her phone and handed it to him.
What's this?
It's Emily's social media. She posted her thoughts there every day.
Keith stared at the screen, his hands trembling. Tears fell from his eyes.
Emily?
He whispered and wiped his eyes. What was written there? Curious, I timidly asked, may I see it too? Then, Keith stood next to me, showing me the phone screen. It read as follows. Tonight it took an hour and a half to put the kids to bed. But lying with them is pure bliss, especially in winter. Cuddling up to their warm bodies, I feel a deep warmth inside. Their sleeping faces are angelic, so adorable, and just looking at them is healing. Juggling work and parenting 3 kids is tough, but my children are adorable, and I find joy in my job every day. Staying connected to society, even as a mother, is something I'm grateful for. I often hear my stay-at-home mom friends talk about feeling lonely or wanting an escape from parenting. I'm fortunate to find a balance between work and parenting. I'm so grateful for my husband leading the way in housework and parenting. Without him, I wouldn't have this happiness. The debt repayment is tough, but we're managing it together, and we should be able to afford our children's future education. Our eldest son stopped attending school. He couldn't make friends and was scared of talking to people. Michael took a day off to talk to the school. There's a support room for students who struggle in the classroom. For now, he'll attend there. He finds it easier to talk to Michael. Maybe because they're both male. Michael listened so kindly and carefully. Our son felt reassured. I'm thankful for Michael. He's truly reliable. Every day is busy but fulfilling and fun. Just seeing my family's faces makes my heart feel lively. I love my family. No matter how late Michael comes home from work, he always listens to me intently. Just talking to him relieves my mood. Seeing his smile heals my work stress. It's like magic. Today I was told I have 3 months to live. At first it felt unreal, like it wasn't about me. But thinking about leaving my family brought uncontrollable tears. I don't want to be apart from them. I want to be with Michael and the kids much longer. But that is not possible. Happy memories flooded my mind like a movie. Loved by Michael and the kids, I believe my life was truly happy. To Michael, thank you for meeting me and marrying me. Because of you, I had a happy life. I'm grateful. I wish we could have been together longer. But please forgive me for leaving you and the kids first. I'll always wish for your happiness. If you find a wonderful woman, don't hesitate to remarry, but please don't forget about me. Remember our first date by the sea, the words you said during the proposal, how you were the first to cry at our wedding, our honeymoon in France, the times we took the kids to the zoo, our picnics in the park, and making cakes together on birthdays. All these memories are precious to me. I won't forget them, so please don't you forget either. Reading this, I could not hold back and covered my face with my hands, crying. After that were messages to each of our children and Emily's parents and sister.
Emily asked me to let family read this after she passed.
Sarah said,
I was going to show it after the funeral, when everyone had calmed down. But you see, Father, Emily wasn't unhappy. She was happy with Michael, right?
Yes, that's true.
Keith nodded, wiping away tears.
Sorry, Michael, for hitting you. I truly regret it. Can you forgive me?
He apologized to me.
It's okay, Father. I understand your grief. Losing someone dear can be unbearable.
I thought I was to blame for Emily's death. But Emily wouldn't have wanted that. She wanted me to be happy. I had to live looking forward, not back.
Can you forgive me after what I did? I'm so sorry. You're a kind person, Michael. That's why Emily was happy with you.
Keith said, wiping his tear-soaked face. Though my cheek hurt from being hit, humans make mistakes. He was remorseful, so I had to forgive him, as Emily would have wanted. I knew he was a kind and gentle person, so I decided to forget the incident. I shook his hand firmly. Seeing this, Sarah also cried. Our 3 children, seated in the family section, hugged each other and wept. It would take time to heal from this grief. But for Emily's last wish, we had to be happy. I just wanted to be glad that Emily's life was happy. In the end, she passed away peacefully, holding my and our children's hands. She lay in the coffin, peaceful as she had been in her final moments. Though we were parting from her physical presence, she would surely watch over us from above. So I too will always remember her. I will protect the children with my life, as she would have wanted. Thank you for loving and supporting me, I silently told Emily's portrait. She seemed to smile back, responding to my words. A week after the funeral, our eldest son, who had been skipping school, started going again.
I don't want to make Mom in heaven sad, so I'll try my best. I feel like I can do it if I think she's cheering for me.
That's great, Tom. Do your best. Mom would be proud. Talk to me about anything, okay?
Our children were slowly growing stronger, overcoming their mother's death. Emily would continue to watch over us from within our hearts.
I'll work hard not to worry you. I promised myself, vowing to live positively for the kids and for Emily.